Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Mandala Makers in Concert. It is an extraordinary time that we're all facing, and we strongly believe here at Mandala Arts that arts are resilient and give us space to express, find moments to reflect, and are absolutely essential to our ability to move forward and keep grounded and connect at this time. And so we're very excited to be able to present this set of series to you all for the next several weeks, all through May. Tune in every Friday, 8 p.m. To hear and see and engage with these wonderful artists that are a part of our lineup. So tonight you're going to see Chethan Anant, a fantastic musician. He is incredible and talented. He plays the Bansuri. He is a vocalist. He's an educator, and we're very excited to have him as a part of our team. And you will hear from SANDEEP BHARADWAJ, a person who carries many, many roles all at once. He's finishing up medical school. He's a Carnatic violinist and just a wonderful human being. So I'm excited to bring them both to you today. So let me tell you a little bit about our hopes for these concerts. We are providing a platform for emerging South Asian artists who are passionate and resilient again at this time and are willing to bring us into their home studios, into their own processes during this crisis. And we're hoping that by your participation and engagement and enjoyment of their work, we will raise funds for the Mandala Makers Festival, which will launch June 13th. This festival will be an extension of Mandala's website. It is going to be a space that honors the processes of artists during this time, reflections on what they're going through, documentations, and showing the diversity of experiences for artists during the COVID-19 crisis. So our goal is to raise $5,000. We're hoping that you value everything that we're doing. We value it dearly. We think it's important and it nourishes our soul. So we hope that you will make this festival possible. I'm gonna stop talking and let the art do the rest of the work. I will introduce our wonderful artists for tonight, Sandeep and Chayton, and I will let them take it away. Hi, guys.
Hi, Ashwati.
I'm gonna step on out and let you guys do this. All right.
Thank you. Oh, Sandeep, I think you're muted. Sorry, we're having some technical issues. Okay, so my name is Chethan Anant. I'm the Bansuri player that Ashwati was mentioning earlier. And on the right side of your screen, you can, or no longer, you can see, you were seeing Sandeep, who is a close friend of mine and a fantastic Carnatic violinist, as Ashwati said earlier. So we are supposed to begin with a 30-minute performance by Sandeep, and I was going to let him explain a little bit about what he was going to present, but let's just wait for these technical glitches for a second. There you are.
Hey, how's this? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
All right, perfect. Well, sorry for that little technical glitch. Thank you, Ashwati, for the warm introduction. Very happy to be here and very grateful to Mandala for providing this opportunity for us, Chethan and I, as kind of budding artists in this field to showcase kind of our talent and also kind of spread some positivity and, warmth in this kind of otherwise troublesome and kind of stressful time. So hopefully the performance today will, spread those positive feelings around. On par with that, our theme that we've decided for today is the word hope. So a lot of the pieces that we present are going to be positive, uplifting, hopeful, either because of the meaning of the song, the tune and the rag of the song, or various components like that. And we want to try to keep this as interactive as possible. So Chayton and I will be doing some talking in the middle. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the live comment section. We're looking at all the comments, and we'll take it from there. All right.
So yeah, Sandeep is going to start with the performance. I'll let him explain what he's going to perform.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Chayton. So I'll be playing here the violin. The first song I'm going to play is actually a varnam, which in music is kind of an opening piece. The varnam is in the ragam sahana. So that was the song Karunimpa, the Varnam, in the Ragam Sahana. Next tune here. So one of the most positive ragams in Carnatic music is the ragam Arabi. It's a very bright ragam, and one of the very famous songs composed in that ragam is called Nada Sudha, which is a song that I'll be presenting next. A little fun fact, actually, the composer of that song actually had his birthday in this past week. He lived in the 1700s, but many of the musicians celebrate kind of his birthday by playing songs of his as well. So the next thing I'll be playing is the song Nada Sudha in the ragam Arabi. So that was the song Nada Sudha Sambilanu, composed by Saint Tyagaraja in the Ragam Arabi. Looks like we have a question here that we'll answer now, talking about what inspired me to learn classical music. Um, so this is, a standard Western violin actually, but one of the very unique things about this is the violin is one of the Western instruments that's been integrated very, very closely into South Asian classical music as well. And the beautiful thing about it is that you get this combination of both kinds of sounds. You're able to, using some different fingering techniques, play traditionally, South Asian sounds with a lot of the oscillations. But at the same time, because it is a Western instrument, you're also able to get some of that Western European classical music tonal quality, and that makes it, all the more fun to kind of play. I started learning originally actually as a way to learn a little bit more about my heritage and my culture. And then as I started to learn more songs and learn, more importantly, how to do some improvisation on the violin, that's when I realized that I really loved what I was doing. Every time you play, it's something completely unique. And I was able to get under the guidance of some very, some gurus and some teachers that I'm very, very grateful for and thankful for, that have helped me become, as proficient as I am today on the instrument. The great thing about Mandala, in addition to promoting these arts and letting us play on our instruments, is also that it's a great place to learn music, dance, and South Asian art. Whether you are what we call a rasika, or just an enjoyer of the arts and you want to come learn the art by watching shows, or you actually want to take a deeper dive and learn how to do some of the dances and some of the Indian classical music through workshops or lectures or even actual lessons, for people of any age, Mandala is a phenomenal platform for people to be able to do that. So that was one of the questions we got. I'm going to go ahead and play one more song before passing it over to Chethan. And while I do that, since the theme of today is hope, I would like everyone who's watching to enter something that they're hopeful for or thankful for, grateful for in the live comment section here. Let's spread some positivity going around as we play this next song. So that was the song Govardhanagiri Dhara in Darbar Khana. All right. So let's see if we have any other questions here. Okay, yeah, this is that rag. Thank you so much. I'm gonna actually now pass it over to my very good friend and extremely talented musician, Chethan Anant. He's a classical Indian flute player, otherwise called the he plays the Bansuri, the Indian flute, and he can speak way better than me to what he's performing. But thank you so much for tuning in, and continue to stick around for this amazing flute performance coming up.
Thanks so much, Sandeep. That was like mind-blowing. You obviously couldn't see me, but I was going wah wah the whole time. So as you guys heard, my name is Chayton. I'm really thankful to Mandala for providing this opportunity and this platform for young emerging artists like myself and Sandeep to present our art that has been so gracefully given to us by our gurus, to share it on this platform with all of you. Mandala is a fantastic organization that is doing a lot of work for bringing forth Indian classical tradition, South Asian classical tradition in the Chicagoland area, in Chicago specifically. And we're all very thankful for what they're doing. So that brings me to today's performance. We're going to be going over the theme of hope. So the ragas that I've chosen today, in my opinion, go along with this theme. They bring out joyful feelings, hope, the feeling of hope. Each rag in Hindustani music is associated with a different emotion. Rag literally translates to the word emotion, and as such, I tried to choose rags that, to me, sounded very positive and hopeful. So, with that being said, I'll begin with Rag Alaya Bilawal. This is a bandish that was composed by Pandit Anant Manohar Joshi, who is my guru's father. So my guru, Dr. Vikas Kashalkar, his guru, Pandit Gajanan Bua Joshi, and his father, Ant Bua, Anant Manohar Joshi. It's in teen tal, which is 16 beats. जा रे खगवा, जा रे खगवा, जा रे खगवा, इतना संदेशवा कहीं दे बलमवा, इतना संदेशवा कहीं दे बलमवा, कटतन रात तोरे बिना जा रे खगवा, जा रे खगवा, जा रे जा रे खगवा, जा रे खगवा, जा रे जा रे जा रे जा रे खगवा जा रे जा रे जा रे खगवा जा रे जा रे जा गम 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 मम गम मम रे ध नि सा सा रे ग प म ग म रे ध नि सा सा रे ग प ध नि सा सा नि ध नि ध प म ग रे ग प म ग रे ध रे ग प ध नि सा जा रे खगवा जा रे जा जा रे खगवा जा रे खगवा जा रे खगवा इतना संदेशवा कहीं दे बलमवा इतना संदेशवा कहीं दे बलमवा कटतन रात तोरी बिना जा रे खगवा जा उन बिन मोहे कल न परत है उन बिन मोहे कल ना उन बिन मोहे कल न परत है उन बिन मोहे कल न परत है बेगिया वो दर्शन दीजो जा That was Rag Alaya Billawal, a composition in Drutlay. So I'll take a couple questions that have been asked. One of the questions that was asked was to talk about if I was able to incorporate Indian classical music with the music that was offered at my school. Personally, I didn't have any experience of. I mean, I played in band for a couple years before I picked up the Bansuri. But after I switched to Bansuri, I was pretty much entirely in the Indian classical field. This was around 6th grade or so, something like that, 12, 13 years ago. I never really tried to use the Bansuri in the band setting, although I did take the flute to school a couple times for talent shows and stuff. I didn't have the opportunity to play Bansuri in my school much, and I wish I'd had that opportunity a little bit more. That's part of why I actually teach nowadays. I teach music here in the Chicagoland area, and I want to spread what I was so lucky to have learned from my gurus with the next generation, and that's a big part of why I teach now. So that being said, I'll move on to the next segment of my performance. I'll be taking Rag Des. Des is a common, very popular and common tune. It's generally associated with a happy scene, often with Lord Krishna playing. I'll just play and you can decide for yourself what it makes you feel. This rag is very popular on the flute. It's commonly played by my guru, Pandit Ronu Majumdar. And the piece I'll be playing today is a gut that was actually originally played by Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, who is one of the greatest flautists of all time and one of my inspirations. Thank you so much for tuning in. That'll conclude my performance today on the theme of hope. I hope that this reminded you of something that you guys are hopeful for, whether it's a cure for COVID or just a future where we can be outside and around each other. So again, thank you guys for listening, and I think now Sandeep is going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about some questions you guys might have, and just in general about our experiences as musicians in Chicagoland and during this COVID time.
Hi, Chayton.
Hi, Sandeep.
That was amazing, as usual.
Oh, thank you, Sandeep. Yours was fantastic as well.
Thank you. So I think one of the questions that I would just start off with here is kind of what inspired you to start playing Indian music on the flute, in the first place? We're all exposed to Western music through bands in school, but what made you take this other avenue?
That's a really great question. So I always heard stories of Lord Krishna when I was a kid, and I, like every other flute player, I was inspired. I wanted to play flute. So in before fifth grade, when they asked us, what instrument do you want to play? I said flute. And they were like, are you sure about that? So I went through two or three instruments. Flute was, of course, the first choice. I went through 3 or 4 instruments, and then I ended up sticking with flute. About another year later, I met my amazing guru, Pandit Ronu Majumdar, and I was lucky enough to see him live in concert. And it was completely by chance that I happened to take a couple lessons from him that summer. Must have been July of 2007, I think. And I took a couple lessons with him that summer and didn't do much with it for a couple years. And then over time, I started just getting more and more into it. As I started discovering, like Sandeep had mentioned earlier, improvisation, I started enjoying my own practice more and more and started taking it more and more seriously. So it's been a journey. Sandeep, how about you? I know you've been performing since you were very young. So
Yeah, no, it's true. I actually, like I mentioned, I got into playing Indian music on the violin at first when I was only 6 years old, because my parents wanted to introduce me to kind of this rich history within the South Asian arts. But many of the arts that we perform, whether it's dance music, as you know, they all tell stories, and those stories are a very integral part of our culture. So that was one of the reasons that I started playing originally. Since then, obviously, we've both grown up together. I started performing when I was in 6th grade, but we've grown up. I was going through medical school, college, things that are traditionally very tough times, but music is something that's kind of been the one constant in my life, always keeping me there, keeping me sane and grounded when things got tough or when I needed to get a little escape from the world. And the beautiful thing about it is, again, as it's the opportunity to express yourself. You can sit down and play something, and every day what you play is going to be completely different. You can change, because so much of it is improvisation. You can change your tone, you can change your song. And thanks to Mandala and other organizations like Mandala, we have the opportunity to perform and interact with other musicians, which is even more fun. Chayton and I have performed together on a number of times for various music shows, dance shows, and to see what Chayton does and kind of echo that, or kind of do what we call jugobandis, even when we're just goofing off during practice sessions where we're playing something together. Those kind of experiences are extremely enriching, and I think that's actually what makes art grow, rather than grow and evolve over time, which is what makes the beauty of art.
Absolutely. And some of you don't know this, but when I was growing up, I wasn't like as into the music scene as Sandeep was back then. So I used to see him perform at these places, and I was absolutely blown away back then. And it's such an honor to be sharing the stage with you sometimes these days. So it's great. And then Sandeep and I, when we perform together, it's just such a fun vibe. It's like you forget everything else when you're jamming with other musicians like Sandeep.
I appreciate that. I actually was not aware of that, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Namaste. So on that note, I think we should turn it back over to Ashwati for some concluding remarks.
You are muted, Ashwati.
We can't hear you, Ashwati.
Here I am. I just want to thank Chayton and Sandeep again for being here with us. You really brought so much energy into our homes. It was calming, relaxing, had so much expression, and we loved following and hearing you. So thank you. Here's a round of applause, and I'm sure everyone's applauding with me. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you both. Everyone say bye to Chayton and Sandeep. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this experience with us. This is very new for so many arts organizations to go into the virtual space, to rethink the way that we present art so that our artists feel like it's a genuine and honest expression coming from them, and that you all can enjoy and savor the arts during these times. So thank you for being a part of this, and hopefully you will continue to engage with our wonderful concert series, and consider making a donation to Mandala Makers concert series and festival launching June 13th. Without your support, it's not possible for us to put on these incredible programs and to support the vibrant artists that make our community sing and have our voices heard. So please consider doing that. I want to share a little bit more about our upcoming concerts. Next week, we will hear from Manu Chakravorty, a wonderful young cello artist, Samir Patel, an orchestral conductor, and myself. We're going to have a discussion about what it was like for us to create our production of The Firebird during the Diwali season last year. In upcoming weeks, you'll see Amira Nimji, a Kathak artist and musicologist, Colin Mascarenas, an Odissi dancer, more of Chayton and Sandeep, Jitesh Jaggi, a storyteller, and we hope that you will support all of those wonderful artists and hear them and see them and experience the arts with them. And with that note, thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Just going to share our promo video for next week, and I will sign out.